Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Century Countess. This is Reaper here, and today is a very special episode. Normally I would have done maybe the Killer Clown makeup, but I'm not going out today because, long story short, there's a lot of politics stuff going on right now outside. And it's just the negative side of politics. I'm not going to go into details, but I'm not going to celebrate and participate in it. You guys know you guys probably know what the situation is, and probably know why I don't celebrate. I'm not going to celebrate or not remember a certain somebody. But we're not going to go into that because that's not part of our channel. We're not a politic thing. We don't dabble in it, for lack of a better word. So anyway, let's go on to something special. So today I've decided to share some of my doll creations, my newest and my latest and my oldest, and so including one that we're working on that will actually be showing you how we put it together today. At least some of it. Some of it's already done, some of it's not. But I'm going to tell you the little dips and dabbles of it. So without further ado, let's begin. So those of you who follow me on Instagram, you may know who this little lady is. This is Miss Dayu. Her name is Mandarin for Black Jade. This is the original head that I painted myself. Here's a close-up of the original head. It's a really pretty head. This is the new Miss Dayu's head. And for some of you who have follow me on Instagram, who have not seen any images of her, she's in my story gallery under Miss Dayu, which is Miss, as in, Miss, and then Dayu, which is D-A-I-Y-U. So Miss Dayu in the story gallery of my photo section. And this is just one of her latest looks. This is her look for September. It's kind of a disco theme. We had trouble figuring out what shoes she was going to wear. But yes, I made her. I painted her body. She is from a multitude of, well, not a multitude, but a couple of doll parts. The most expensive part was her head. And she has a sister now. Her sister we have called Menu, Miss Menu, which means bright moon. You probably saw, for those of you who just saw Star Raven's channel, which was her live stream, which was the 12th of September of this month. So this is an old video. It was the 12th of September. When Star Raven Gothic Eternity did her Friday live stream, there was images of the doll that popped up. So this is Dayu's sister, Miss Minu. Here's a close-up of her face. She's really cute. Now, fun fact, Miss Minu was going to have a golf outfit. And we put her temporarily into this, and then I just had an idea of putting like this knitted sweater over it, and it just became a look. It was just too cute. But this is the look. Now this doll I'm about to show you, I'm still working on her. She is a work in progress. So her hair looks horrible, but she's wearing the outfit that we had planned. This is like this kind of like a 1920s mock-up of a goth look with a 1920s vibe, but obviously modern goth, but with a retro vibe to it. This hat, this flower right here used to be pink or red, and we just colored it black. This choker came from another figurine. This dress was a recycled Spice Girl doll outfit. This doll that we're working on is based on Labyrinth, Jennifer Connelly's character Sarah Labyrinth. It actually used to be a Xena warrior princess, but after we did her brows and we did her eye chain, the color of her eyes did different. She's turned into Jennifer Connelly, aka Sarah from Labyrinth. We're going to finish her in the future. This is just a temporary outfit for her till we get to her. Give me a moment, give me a moment, you guys. I need some liquids. So let me share with you the bodies that I use. I used to get these from eBay. Just one body was $20 something. After tax, it came up to $25, $27. But I found them, the same ones, slightly more skinnier in the waist, which is great, on Temu for less a price. However, they make you buy quantity, so for the same price for one of them on eBay, I can get 4 of these for the same price for one on eBay. This is what it looks like. Very detailed, you guys, so I'm not going to go too close because you never know, YouTube might freak out. I've heard they freak out at naked dolls, especially if they're detailed, but here she is. It's quite detailed. Look at that neckline. So there's a beautiful neckline, and then look, fun little nails. You can paint these nails. They're like little long, and they're semi-transparent, so you can actually kind of see the nail a little bit. It's made from a different texture. Doll shoes for these are slightly hard to find. You kind of have to find a very soft rubbery one or heat some old Barbie shoes to slip them on her correctly, but once they go in, you might want to keep them on there. These ones I like. This one I gotta wash because it got a little stain. I don't know how. Let me see. Yeah, there it is. Now, these dolls I really love. These bodies I really love. They're much better. I used to use the Made to Move Barbie body because I like the articulation. You know, you can move the ankles or anything. You can't move the ankles on this, but you can move the top part of the torso a little bit. You can't move this lower half, which is fine, because the dolls that I make with these bodies, they're mainly for display purposes, and you can pose them in certain positions, but there are limitations, but it's fine. Now, some of these doll bodies I did have to paint because the doll head that I buy doesn't match the skin tone, so you got to kind of paint them like these ones. But if I had known about the Temu ones, I wouldn't have, and then this Miss Dayu would have had a matching body for hers. Hers was more whiter, the eBay version, and you can actually see the difference. So, like I said, more narrow-waisted. The eBay version, she's a little bit more chunky, as you can see, but which is fine. It's perfect for Miss Dayu. Now, the doll heads. These doll heads, some of them I reface paint, but I like to buy ones that already have a painted face because it makes it easier for me, because my vision isn't as good as it used to, so I can't really fully paint a doll face from scratch as much anymore, especially ones with fine realistic details. But I like to redo their makeup and sometimes change their eye color. That's the best as I can do from now. And just recently we did a April O'Neil doll, which, for those of you who don't know who April O'Neil is, Teenage Mutant Turtles, of course. We used to watch the old anime version of it when we were a kid. We did see some live action. And that's the doll that we built from scratch today. So before we go and do that, I've already shared with you the doll body. Let me tell you more about the doll head. So, this doll head, it's mainly it's basically, if you go on eBay and put in, let's see, 1/6 and then female head or male head, they'll pop up, and they're basically kind of like action figure heads, very realistic. You would probably go crazy if you saw the celebrity heads, like Steven Seagal or Bruce Willis. Their heads are very realistic. They look like Madame Tussauds miniatures. So, but they're pricey. The cheapest that I have seen has been $28. The highest that I've seen has been up to $76 to $80. So yeah, if you really like the head, sometimes you could probably bump it down. You can't bump it down much, but if you are willing to burn the extra money, the head's yours. Sometimes you just gotta let it go. And so my limit with these dolls, these heads are also sold on Temu. Not many of them are, but if you want your own little Miss Minu, her head I got from Temu. And it was so pretty looking. There was not much I had to do with it. I just maybe changed the lips a little bit, changed the lip color and glossed it. But that's all I did with this one because the face was just too good. The face was just too cute. It's the same face sculpt as Miss Dayu's, but with different hair color. But it's from this one I got from eBay. This one I got from Temu. And you can kind of see there is slight differences. And quite frankly, I like the Temu version much better. It's much more sweeter looking. Miss Dayu's from eBay, her head sculpt is pretty sweet. But from what I found out, different stores that sell the heads sometimes do knockoffs, and sometimes the knockoffs look much better than the originals. So, when you get the head, when you want to put it on this type of a body, there's something like this that's inside the head that you have to kind of force out, and it widens the neck hole. So you can put the head in, but that alone is not enough. You need this. This is cosplay clay, and a little bit of this goes a long way. I'm going to try to... This is so hard to open. One sec, you guys. Let me pause this. We got it out. So let's open the package. And I'm going to show you. This is easy to work with. Sometimes it's not. As you can see, it kind of streams out. So what you got to do is, you just got to rip the stream, roll it up, pull some out, and then just leave the excess because you never know. You may need more. It may take, as I said, it takes a little, but sometimes depending on the neck, the opening of the neck that you've made after removing this thing might be larger or it might be smaller. Now, after you do that, you basically, this is not the head style, by the way. This is a Fashion Royalty head that I got for $40, so it's not the same, but what you would want to do, let's pretend it is. So what you want to do is you want to take, and like I said, here's where it's going to get difficult. When it makes pasta, clay pasta. After you get a little bit, you just want to stuff it into the neck peg, like that. Stuff it all in till it's fully in. Then you just put it into the head, and then you let it set for a few days. Maybe, like, let's say a good recommendation is, let's say you were making one a day, and you filled in the neck peg, and then you put it over the doll body of choice. The clay will set around the peg. I'm going to call it the peg, and it will take its shape, and then when it's when it's fully dried, it will stay. But if you need to remove it, it will take the shape of you'll have a new neck mold, inner neck mold, so it will go back when you want it. But you want to wait till it's fully dried, otherwise you will get more. It will mess up, and you'll have to basically either put it back on if you're able to, or put it on and leave it on, never to take it off again, which is what I do most of the time. Now, let's say you put it on Friday today. I would say by next Friday it should fully be hardened. It should no longer be spongy. It should be as hard as plastic and good to go. Now, I'm going to show you the head real quick, what it looked like before and then I'm going to show you the image of April O'Neil. One sec. So you saw what the doll head looked like. It had slightly, almost shoulder length hair, kind of like a curly bob. Its lips was red and very simple looking. And then you saw April O'Neil, her from the 90s, 90 animation, iconic yellow jumpsuit. I think they made new animations and they paid tribute to the color yellow. So yeah, as you saw, so before I show you the doll and basically put her together in front of your eyes, let me show you the illustration of our version of the April O'Neil doll. So with our version of the April O'Neil doll, I decided I wanted to do her in a 1970s era. So definitely pay tribute to the original. So obviously her outfit had to be yellow, but we had to come up with segments that maintain the 70s. So 70s sunglasses. She has like this white kind of jumper suit on from the 70s, of course, with pigments of blue. Here's the thing: what we do is before we do our doll making and our doll design, we look up the outfit first, and then we draw our concept based on the imagery from that outfit, and then we add the accessories and stuff later, which is what we did here. So I'm going to do a quick close-up. This is what it looks like. Hawk and everything. This is our 70s April O'Neil. And then, hold on, let me move this. Let me move that. Here's the outfit. It came in a lunch bag. So as we got accessories for it, we added more. Well, we added it to the lunch bag so everything stays safe. Here's the bracelet. We decided, since there's pigments of blue in our outfit, we decided we're going to make those pop. This is a Best Buy Barbie outfit from the 70s. And like I said, we wanted to pay tribute to the original April, so I looked up Best Buy Barbie jumpsuits, or yellow outfits, and this is what popped up. And it was perfect. And as I said, the bracelet came from another doll, which we used. And then here is the shoes that go with it. And I thought I was going to change them, but then I thought, well, in the series, April does a lot of running when she's trying to escape from menaces when they catch her filming. So I thought we'd stick with the shoes that went with the outfit. Won't look good on a stand because, you know, I always try to find a shoe that has a heel. But so it won't look good because she does have, as you see, an arched heel. She's not flat foot. However, these dolls are like fashion royalty Poppy Parker doll bodies. I'm sure if I wanted to risk it, I'm sure the legs can be removed and replaced with flat foot fashion royalty lower legs. But we're not risking that because, like I said, for these, what came up to the same price as one on eBay. So I don't want to destroy one just yet, just to see if I can, you know, do it. So we're not going to do that just yet. We may in the future. Who knows? If we decide we want the doll to have a flat foot, we may cut her actual foot off. Or, if you do it this way, here, let me show you. If we do it this way, we could just probably add to the foot with some clay, stick it like there, and it's good to go. It'll give her a tall supermodel effect, but no one will know that she's actually secretly on her tiptoes with a fake heel. Interesting concept, yes? And then this came from our Belladonna Fairchild doll. I'm sure you guys remember Belladonna Fairchild. There's an episode where Mr. Fancy Man has a encounter with her. So it's Mr. Fancy Man versus a reporter doll. Back during the lovely days of quarantine, of course. This is our microphone. We decided to leave it pink, but we did add a little bit of silver where the little fuzzy bits go. So here is the doll now. She's in, for modesty, she's in a purple dress, but as you can see, this is her. We have changed the lips, made them fuller. She's got a little bit of blush and contour on her cheeks. She's got a little bit of eyeshadow on her eyes. We wanted something that neutral but still 70s appeal. We did tease her hair a bit, added a little bit of hairspray, kind of like guided the hair to go in a certain direction. So it's much different from the photo that we showed you. Now, we're going to put April O'Neil together. So, give me a moment. Let me just take her dress off. First, we're going to put on her outfit because we don't know if her outfit might need some tailoring. And the last thing we need is to show you a doll with her chest completely out in the open. We've already done that, and we're probably going to get demonetized for showing doll cleavage. And here it is. Definitely a look, but if we tailor it, like if we were to tailor it just a bit, like serge it in, here, let me show you guys. There, now that's much better. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause this real quick, and we're going to serge her in real quick, and I'm going to show you. I just need to get a needle and thread ready. And we are back. So what you want to do is, if you have one of these doll bodies and the vintage doll dress that you're using does not fit properly, or it looks awful, but it looks much better if it's singed like this instead of like worn free and boggy and looks kind of cheap. What you want to do is, the best way to singe it is to see what I'm doing. I'm pushing it back. There we go. And then we just take a needle and thread. What you want to do is you want to stick it inside to hide the knot, and then you just tuck the excess in, and then you just hold on, boom, and then once again you go inwards, boom, and then once again you go in, keeping with the color, because I didn't have a yellow, so we have to kind of use the blue to hide it. There, and then once again go inside. And if you go inside instead of whip stitching, it doesn't show as much. Then you go inside again, work your way out till you get to the bottom blue, the third tier blue, as you can see. Let me show you. Boom. See, you don't really see it. Then you want to once again go inside. Boom. And there, we got a nice singed waist off the shoulder. It looks very elegant. You would not know. Then you go in again, and then right before you go fully in, you hook it into the loop. You make a little loop, and then you hook it through like that, and then there. You got a little bit of a knot, pull, and then you do it again. Go to the other side, boom. Go out halfway, catch that loop. There. Now it's tied. Invisible tie. And if you decide you want to, change her outfit, you can use a seam ripper. Just go through my brain's not working. Go through the threading, cut it with the seam ripper, and it will just pull, and then just pull it out, and you can just slip the dress off, and it will be as if Nothing ever happened. You'll never know. No one will never know. Now, this bracelet is easy. It's like this little spiral bracelet. You can just slip it on. Or you can just take April's hand off. But I'm going to show you how you put it on naturally. Just flick it on like that. There we go. She's got her bracelet on now. By the way, I painted her nails. And also, guys, if you don't like the long nails, another thing you can do is trim the nails. You can trim the nails with an actual nail cutter. Be very careful, though, because sometimes you might end up chopping a finger. Now, we stick her shoes on. She's just about done, you guys. And then we gotta put in her microphone, because she's always running around basically filming the Ninja Turtles doing their thing. And last but not least, we painted these yesterday. These are solid black, kind of disco themed sunglasses. And we just painted the frames white, at least what little bit you're gonna see. Now, let's just put it into her head because, you know, she needs her sunglasses. She can't have the sun blinding her head, blinding her eyesight while she's filming and reporting. And here she is. This is our 1970s version of April from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. She's ready to basically interview the 70s version of the Turtles, get kidnapped by Shredder multiple times like she did in the animated series, always getting herself in trouble. But yeah, this is her little sunglasses, everything. Yellow outfit to pay tribute to the animated series. And she's good to go. We do not have a stand for her as of yet, so she'll be sitting down, and this is how they sit down, which is really nice. Fortunately, she's kind of like that, but I think if you can raise her leg up to the limit, and it should be fine. And her shoes don't fit properly, so that's fine. We can always add a little bit of the foam clay inside and it will take the shape easily. Let me do that for you real quick. Alright, here it is. This little blob right here is enough for both feet. Pull it out, roll it, stuff it inside the heel, stuff it inside the other heel. Now, when you do this, it means the doll is probably going to have this shoe for life, unless it easily slips off after you remove it. But it will stay in place, and you don't want to touch it. You don't want to touch this. So be sure to have a multitude of projects ready, or if this doll is finished and she's good to go, it doesn't matter because the doll is finished and you won't be touching her as much unless you're going to pose her. But this is April O'Neil sitting down with her little microphone, little 70s shoes, 70s outfit, 70s sunglasses, and she's ready to interview the Ninja Turtles the next time they kick Shredder's ass. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, and click that bell for more. We'll try to do more dolls. I want to try to figure out how to paint them on camera. I may not be able to actually show you how the paint goes on, but I can always show you how the doll looks before and then after I'm done painting her while I chat with you guys. So that way you guys kind of get the vibe of when the doll is actually painted, not when she's already painted and you only see the before pictures. You can actually see the before then and then the after right then and there, all at the same time. So again, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, hit that bell, leave me comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.